All right. Good afternoon. Bon après-midi, Ani. Welcome to our combined council meeting for the month of September. We are resuming our meetings every first Wednesday and every third Wednesday of the month. So we hope you'll join in. Just to let you know that Councillor Wenborn is here. He's in the same room, though about 10 feet away from me. We're having technical difficulties with his computer. So he is present, and though you can't see him, he's there for sure. So like to welcome everybody and call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, do we have an addition to the agenda for tonight, do we?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
So you need a mover and a seconder to.
Yeah. So I need a mover and a seconder, Renee and Randy.
Duly moved and seconded. Be it resolved that the following item be added to the agenda. So at 7.3.2, we have we need to report of an expenditure overage of the awarded amount for the rehabilitation of Dry Pine Bay Road contract.
Thank you. Any discussion on the addition? Seeing none, we are now going to adopt the agenda. All those in favor? Okay. I see you, Dean. Any disclosures of pecuniary interest? And you've received nothing, Madam Clerk?
Nothing.
Okay, seeing none. Let's move on. We do have a delegation tonight, and I believe that he's going to come online in just a second. It is Paul Frustaglio, who is the owner of the French River Rapids, and I believe he's just coming on now. And Paul will talk to us about the NOJHL return to play, their policies and procedures, and coming back, the players coming back to Noelville, as well as to the arena, and discussion on the debt plan. So Paul, there you are. I see you.
Hi there.
Welcome. Welcome.
Okay.
Paul, as you know, you will have 15 minutes to make your presentation, and then we'll open it up for the councillors to make comments or ask you questions. So I'll turn it over to you.
Right now? Okay.
Right now, yes, you are on.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Well, good evening, Madam Mayor and distinguished guests and of council. And I want to thank you for taking the time this evening to allow me to speak. First of all, I hope everybody's had a good summer and everybody's families are safe. These are pretty unprecedented times in our society. I know none of us were here the last time there was a pandemic of this type, but not that long ago, 10 years ago, we had another pandemic, and my son unfortunately passed away in the last pandemic, if nobody knew. So in 2009, my son passed away of H1N1. So for my family, this has been a very trying time. It's brought back some, pretty dark memories and stuff. So if there's any family that kind of understands what happens during something like this, the Frustaglio family is a family that has been affected by it. And we understand how health and safety is important to everybody. Anyhow, I wanted to provide some background for some of the people that don't know the story. A lot of people do, but a lot of people don't know the story of
Okay.
How, are you there? You're freezing. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we're having trouble hearing Paul. I think you're breaking up a little.
Can you hear me now?
I think
Better.
Paul is okay. I think it's you, Giselle, that's breaking up.
Go ahead, Paul.
Okay. So, all right. I'm just gonna have a little story here. I only have 15 minutes, and I like talking. So it feels like yesterday that I walked into the arena on September the 7th, 2017. I came with my family, and I walked into a place that had so many friendly faces, and I was just coming up north to see if my son could make a hockey team in a small town in Northern Ontario when we had this long drive that was 3 hours away. And look what happened. 4 years later, I'm here. I'm greatly involved in the hockey community, and you know, I don't want to necessarily get back into this situation of how this has happened, right? Because in essence, somebody took advantage of me, the previous owner, Jesse Landry, and from a financial standpoint, it's been a very difficult journey. But the one thing about me, I don't back away from a battle. I'm still here, and you know, at the time that I took over the team was in significant debt. Renee would know something like that. She was very involved with me in the first year, and it, you know, was a pretty ugly scene. We owed everybody money. We still owe people money, but the numbers have come down a fair bit. The league is only owed 10,000 from 40,000. The municipality, which was at 50,000, has got to be, I don't know what the current number is. I think it's in the mid-20s, I believe, the old debt. So we're slowly, you know, slowly but surely, we're getting some of this debt taken away. But people have to understand that you don't make money playing junior hockey. It's a very, very difficult business. And some people say I'm crazy, and I might be crazy, but I kind of really enjoy it, you know, not enjoy being crazy. I just enjoy being part of a hockey organization. You know, I love the fact that 4 years ago, the team of French River was a laughing stock of junior hockey across Canada. It really, really was. You know, 4 years later, we sent over 40 kids to major junior, to college, even pro hockey. You know, you've got a local young boy named Phil Doe, who nobody gave a chance to. We did. And now, you know, he has a chance of making the NHL, right? And it all started here in French River. And that's a pretty amazing story. And we all had a part to do with it, whether it was the team or the council or all the community and everybody that was helping this young man do as well as he is. But that's probably the most gratifying thing, you know, even though you lose money, our goal is to move kids forward. We haven't made the playoffs yet. And I have to say that we've had some difficult times over the last couple of years with some bad luck. We've had some really good, exciting teams. But unfortunately, we've had some bad luck with injuries. So we're getting there. Where am I here? So I've been pretty clear with Mark. I've shared all my information. I did present to him a few days ago our tax returns, and you can see that they're not that pretty, right? But the team is compliant, right? We're compliant from a Revenue Canada standpoint. We're compliant from HST. We have to do our 2020s, which are going to be due at the end of this September or whatever. We'll probably get a bit of a break because of COVID. But, you know, the team, you know, with regards to that, we're compliant. So if there was one thing that COVID did, it allowed me to have the time to put everything back together to become compliant with Revenue Canada. And that's a really big thing. That was something that was difficult. I had problems sleeping knowing that they weren't done. Because as Renee knows, there was no background information for the first 24 months of this hockey team. It was a nightmare, right? And Renee did a whole lot of work in that first year trying to piece it all together, thank God. And he gave us a good starting point. So thanks, Renee. So where we are right now. So the state of hockey is in a bit of flux right now. And I'm not sure, did everybody get a copy of the email that I just sent about a half hour ago?
Yes.
So that's the first piece of decent news that we've had from the OHF in a long time, because it's been a big struggle. It's been awful, to be honest with you. I don't know if anybody had a chance to take a look at our policy and procedures manual. Well, Robert Mazouk and I, we co-wrote that together. I've got a background in writing policy and procedure because in my medical practice, we have to carry one as well, and that's over 600 pages. So doing one that was 44 pages was pretty easy. However, if you take a look at that document, it could scare you, but it shouldn't, because in essence, nothing is more important than the health and safety of the kids, the fans, the community, the elderly. There's nothing more important. So as far as I'm concerned, our policy and procedures manual went above and beyond. And it's not that hard. You just have to follow rules. It's just as simple as putting on your seatbelt, right? I know that there's all kinds of different controversies about, wearing masks and stuff like that. But I come from a background that we wear masks all the time. Doctors wear masks all day long. It's not a big deal. Wear a mask, keep distance, keep your hands clean, don't touch your face, and you're going to do a really good job of ensuring that you're not going to spread this virus. I understand the North has been pretty lucky, but here in Toronto, it's bad, right? It's bad, especially in the early months. It was crazy. You really didn't want to go out because you didn't know what was going on. Now, you know what? I have to admit that the public is getting a lot better, a lot more respectful. I know that when I come to Noelville, I wear a mask everywhere. It's common nature to me. So what I'm trying to imply here is that I understand the rules. I understand what needs to be done. I know the costs. I believe that when the team does arrive, it's not going to be an issue, right? I haven't chosen the person yet, but we'll have a compliance officer that'll look after issues with regards to the team and any kind of COVID issues, but we will have a COVID compliance officer for the team. And that's probably going to be a prerequisite for every team in the Noge. I was telling Mr. Mazuka 2 days ago, that's one thing that we need to update, because the very first page, we update our manual weekly. So if I sent you the most recent manual that we've been updating, it's probably about 20% different than the one that you've got, right? Because everything is so fluid, things are constantly changing. But anyhow, let's talk about some debt, right? We're not the only team that owes debt. Rayside Balfour owes over $20,000 to the city of Sudbury. Cochrane Crunch owes over $31,000 to the city of Cochrane. So we're not unique to owing money to municipalities. And I do thank the council for being patient, but every year it gets paid off, right? But I can't pay debt off without the hockey team being able to function. So unfortunately, this particular year, with COVID starting in March, we couldn't hold any camps in April, May, and June, and July. And that's how I'm able to generate money through the summer months. So then I normally have all of our debts paid off in August. And that's usually because we're able to generate funds. But the city of Toronto itself, arenas weren't open until the middle of July. And even at that point, you're only allowed 9 people on the ice, 9 players and one instructor. So there was no money to be made there. Of late, we just held 4 or 5 sessions over the past week. We did make a little bit of money. And as a matter of fact, in the past week, I think I've sent approximately $3,100 to reduce the debt. Is there a current number of what's owed now?
Yes, you owe, just on the ice time, it's $10,540, and on the loan, it's $28,600.
Yeah, but that's
So it
already
makes
been,
approximately $40,000 that.
right. But the loan, let's put that in perspective. That wasn't given to me, right? That loan had nothing to do with me. I've assumed somebody else's debt, right? So that loan was $50,000, as you know. And then we changed the deal of Jesse's contract, or no, Al Donan's contract. So the $28,000, that's something that I'm compliant with right now. Because
Yes.
when I paid off those other 2 $800 payments last week, I believe that portion of it is compliant for last year, right? Because it was based over 7 years. So in reality, well, I'd like to focus on the 10,500. Okay. Let me see here. So, I'm trying to establish timelines for the parents, right? Their kids are supposed to be starting school on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I haven't been able to give them the time of when they can start here in Noelville, right? I was hoping to get the kids there, you know, in the first to second week of September, but at the same time, we need ice, right? I need ice for our program to start. I need ice to be able to collect money from people. I need ice to be able to pay off this $10,000, right? So once I get hopefully at the end of the evening tonight, you know, or in the next 24 hours, because I'm not going to lie, this has been very painful for me because I can't collect any money. So if I can't collect money, I can't pay the town their money back. Okay. But I need a time so I can tell these parents, yes, I want your kids there on September the 15th. Yes, start sending me your money. They start sending me money. Then I think I have one check left there that's post dated for 2,000. And then I can bring the balance of the money next week. And that debt will be paid off by September 30th. Or earlier, okay? I don't want to say that it's going to be done in 2 weeks until I start receiving money from people, and until parents have a comfort as to when they can send their kids. You know, I've got over 20 families that come to the community, right? And they're just, I talk to them frequently, they call me and they're just looking for some timelines here. So I really need your help to get the rink opened ASAP, right? It's really, really important. So before I end, what we're looking to do in phase 1. So we're not starting hockey right away. So we're talking about phase 1. So for the month of September, I know we're not starting right now. However, for the month of September and in October, we're looking to have the players on the ice from 10 to 14 hours per week. Minimum 10 hours, maximum 14 hours. And then I'm looking at having them do dry land for 2 to 4 hours a week. So by me having this, I'll be able to occupy their time a fair bit. We're going to have a lot of different team building events to take place. And for that, based on the current amount that you charge for ice, so I normally average $2,500 a month on average throughout the year. Now that number will be up over $4,000. As soon as I can collect all this money, I'll ensure, because this isn't, people aren't going to be allowed to come unless they pay me. Too many times, and Renee can attest that you're collecting money in January and February, which creates a problem on your cash flow, but nobody will be able to step on the ice unless I get paid. So in my cash flow, if I run this pre-season format of a camp, I'll be able to pay off the 10,000, and all the ice that we buy will be paid by the end of November. So I won't owe any money.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Well, you hit 15 minutes right on. I don't know if you planned that, but
No,
that was
I
right
got
on.
another, I have another 20 here, but I knew I was running out. So that's why I just wanted to get to the money quickly, because I had about 5 pages of written notes here. So, but
Okay,
anyhow.
you did well. Thank you. Now I'm going to open it up to the counselors
Sure.
for any discussions or questions for Paul. Okay, your pictures are tiny. So Rick, did you have your hand up? Yep. Okay, Counselor Mellette.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Paul, for your presentation. I just had a little blurb there already for you. So,
Okay.
Communities such as French River and other small communities in the north take pride in hosting caliber hockey, such as the Rapids. These communities often see the arenas and its community centers as their focal point for community social events and gatherings. The Noelville Arena is a perfect example of that. In recent weeks, we have received numerous ice rental requests from various new sources, as well as our regular clients, such as the Rapids and local minor hockey. As a new normal sets in, communities all around try to establish a safe and proper reopening protocol for all their arenas. As council, we have a fiduciary obligation to all taxpayers in ensuring all these protocols are established and maintained, both on a public safety and a budgetary basis. Although COVID has caused enormous challenges for all of us in recent months, we need to establish a fair plan for all parties involved moving forward. We have seen excellent work that the NOJHL has done in preparing a safe return to hockey protocol, and I applaud the effort for that. As council, we need to assess all the facts and make a decision that will best suit the whole municipality of French River. Assuming all exemptions are approved from all governing bodies, that will allow the NOJHL to resume practice and league play in the coming weeks or months. The municipality of French River should be ready and available to offer ice time accordingly. However, having to be fair to all other organizations who also rent the ice, I propose that the outstanding debt of approximately 10,000 or so, as we were just discussing, be paid before any ice rental or league play for the 2021 season. This is from the ice rental from last year's outstanding debt. This recommendation stems from council having to be fiscally responsible for taxpayer money and also be fair to all other parties. Furthermore, I recommend that the Rapids organization continue the debt payment and also sets a plan with the municipality of French River to have its 2021 rental ice fees paid on a timely basis moving forward. I'm really looking forward for the season ahead and hockey, and I thank you for your time and presentation, Paul. So back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Do I have other councillors?
Can I answer?
Yeah, of course you can answer. Yes.
Okay, so hockey is available to start right now. September the 1st, it's phase 3B. And as per the letter from the OHF today, and unfortunately, they didn't really take a deep look into our plan, which was far better than any other plan in any other junior league across this country. But we can start today. September the 1st, we can put 35 players on the ice, starting today. And that just came out. I just received it this afternoon. Unfortunately, I wish I would have gotten it to you earlier, but I was in transit. So, but as of right now, hockey can start. We're talking about junior hockey right now. That letter that I provided you is strictly for junior hockey, junior A, junior B, junior C, right? So I just wanted to answer that particular question.
Thank you. Other councillors? Dave.
Okay. Am I good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. I'm also in agreement with Rick. I'd like to see the outstanding balances paid before we can let the ice open. And also to open the arena early, I guess this question would be to Bob. I think Bob is here, right? Is
Yes.
that even a possibility to be able to get ice early, Bob?
Yes, it's possible. The ice pad is ready. The ice plant is ready to go. You just have to turn the switch on, and after we start, about 2.5 weeks, we're ready to skate.
Okay.
So basically around September 19th would be about the earliest we could get it.
Okay, Paul?
But that's not early though, Bob.
No,
We're normally on the ice on August the 20th. I just want everybody to be clear, August the 20th. So this is
Correct.
not early, this is late.
Yeah.
Correct. Usually we have the ice ready by August 20th.
I see Renee and Randy. And Dean, did you? No, you're okay for now? Okay.
Okay, so for me, at our last meeting, we said that the arena facilities would only open October 1st. Would we have to go back and change our decision about that if we decided to have the ice early? Because I know that because of COVID and everything, we had said October 1st, right?
Correct.
So we
So
would
Madam-
have to change that decision, Mel?
Madam Clerk? Can't hear you.
I've got it now. Thank
Okay.
you. So the ice opening it's more of an operational a decision. Council was informed of our proposed plan. So it would be up to the operations to decide when they would be ready or when the safety precautions would be approved by public health, or they actually are at the moment. But if there's any changes, I can let
Yeah.
Mark speak to that.
Mark?
No, I just wanted to add that we did receive confirmation with some adjustments to our protocols that were released to council the last council meeting. So those have been authorized by public health. So as Bob mentioned, if council wishes to support, then as Bob mentioned, we're ready to start the plan if need be.
And I have
Okay.
Rennie. Oh, sorry, Rennie. Keep going.
Just would like to see last year's debt paid off, and if you said by September 30th that it's possible, I am happy with that. I just, me, I like to pay the bills, so
No, I
that's very
Renee.
important for me, and I think that, we don't give ice time for free, so that's where I stand on that. But if we can get the ice going sooner, have the kids on the ice. Okay.
Randy?
Yeah, I was just through you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Paul, for coming today before us and making your delegation. I think the community appreciates what you've done to bring the team to this point. But of course, I agree with everybody else. There's an expense to the municipality to operate the ice. This debt is from last year. And I do believe that before you should be able to start on the ice, your previous debt needs to be paid before you incur any further debt with us going forward. So I think everybody's asking that takes place. Thank you.
Thank you. Paul, did you have any comments?
Right. I do respect everybody. In the end, though, I've lost $125,000 in 3 years, guys. All right. Not the city. The city's been paid. So all I'm asking is for me to draw a line in the sand, let people come so I can start collecting money. I can't guarantee that people are going to pay me if I say, well, maybe we'll be on the ice, right? So I need a firm date, then I'll start collecting money. But I've made a suggestion September the 30th. There's other teams that are starting and they haven't paid they're not even close to paying their debt in this league, right? You guys have to realize a couple of things. I understand that this is a small community, but that small community impacts my budget every single day, right? The average team in this league, the average amount that each team in this league, from a corporate standpoint, they bring in just under $100,000. You know what I get to bring in every year? If I'm lucky, a gross of 35,000, which I only net 22,000, right? We have the smallest attendance. I charge the least amount, right? So you have to understand, with all due respect to the debt, I don't want to have the debt, everybody, right? If there was greater, economic diversement within the community, which would allow me to generate more funds, that'd be easier to pay the bills. If we had, a larger community base and I could sell more tickets, once again, in the end, this team loses an average of $35,000 a year. And a guy named Paul Verstaglu and his family has not walked away from this community. Not once, not ever. And every single year, and it's kind of insulting to me, not what you guys are doing, but through the community, I hear that the team's going bankrupt, I'm moving the team, I'm selling the team, and I always have to defend myself. So on November the 6th of this year, I'll be an official taxpayer, by the way, because I purchased a home on Bear Lake. So I hope that, now having a home firmly entrenched in French River, that council and everybody will at least say, okay, I don't think this guy's going anywhere, right? And I truly, I appreciate the fact everybody wants this paid before we get on the ice, but I can't guarantee that. I'm guaranteeing September the 30th. I'm only going to guarantee you what I believe I can do, right? But the Bank of Frastaglio, it's in debt. The team owes us $135,000. I can't get any more money from the Bank of Frastaglio. I'm so sorry. The team has to generate funds on its own, right? And, you know, I don't get paid for what I do, guys. No. But I'm a passionate guy, right? And I love the community. We're making roots. And all I'm asking is for more patience. And I'm not going to lie, this community, this council has been behind me 100%, you know. Madame Mayor, you know, she's always had a, you know, when she wasn't a mayor, she always had a big smile on her face. She supported this franchise from day one. The first day I went in there, I've asked for the, you know, this council to support the team. You've done so much to the rink. And I just want to thank everybody. The glass, that brand new glass that was found by Bob and Jason and whoever else, you know, those guys like Bob and Jason and Chad, these guys, you know, sometimes I pick on them a little bit. That's because I love them. But that arena, you all should be very proud, because what it was 4 years ago, well, I'm going to tell you, I don't want to repeat what I said 4 years ago, but I was embarrassed for the community, right? Just like, I'm sorry, I forget who the first speaker was, but your arena is the life and the blood of the small community in Ontario. It's all about your community center. And what it looks like now, when I bring people into that rink, I go, you know what, guys? It's not the biggest, it's not the fanciest, but it's ours. It's Noelville's, it's French Rivers. And we're proud of what we have. Getting back to the rink, the glass is a big thing. And I complain about people not having any heat. You've changed the heat. You know, we got a new scoreboard. You guys, I'm very grateful for all these things that have been done, and it's just another step. We still have a few other things. If you ask Bob, I still want a few other things, right? But I'm just saying, please work with me on this. By September the 30th, the $10,000 will be paid. 1 week later, whatever I owe for September, that'll be paid. So I won't be any debt. That's what I can promise you. I just need, and if I can pay it in advance, everybody, by all means, I will. But I don't know if I can. That's all I'm saying. And I'm just asking to the end of September.
All right, Paul, thank you. Got your message loud and clear. We do have a closed session tonight, so
Okay.
we'll be able to give you an answer likely by tomorrow.
Okay, that's great.
Then you'll know exactly where council stands, and then hopefully we'll be able to work together.
Well, I think we can, and you guys have never disappointed me before, so I'll keep my fingers crossed. Enjoy your evening, and thank you very much for your time.
And thank you for all you do with the Rapids.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Paul.
you. Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Have a good night.
All right, so with that said, we will discuss this in closed session tonight. Now I need a resolution to resolve into the committee of the whole, moved by Randy and seconded by Rick. All in favor? Thank you. All right, so go to item 7. There's nothing under general government for 7.1, nothing under finances for 7.2. But we do have under 7.3.1, a resolution to award the contract for the double surface treatments of Whippoorwill Road. So I'll turn it over to Bob.
We put the tender out. 2 different companies bid on the project. Domcor Enterprise and Miller Paving. $95,568 for Domcor and $115,500 for Miller. This is part of the capital projects for this year. Although we will be over budget on this project from our 600,000 by approximately 30,000. We're still recommending the council to complete this project. If not, we'll be falling behind on our capital works projects for the next 5 years. Any questions?
Any questions? I have Randy.
Through you,
And
Madam
Dave.
Chair. Through you, Madam Chair. Bob, when do we expect them to start the process, should it be approved?
I believe their earliest start date was mid-September,
Okay, so fairly soon.
fairly soon.
Okay, perfect.
I think, Dave, did you have your hand up? Okay, you're next.
So I was reading also, we did have some savings on other various contracts that we tendered out. So we wouldn't be over budget on our total budget, right? Just on this actual part and on the actual total budget, I think we're okay. Have I read that?
Mark can answer that one.
Yeah, I'll jump in. No, we'll be over on our total capital budget of just under 1 million. That being said, I think Bob said it very nicely. You know, we don't want to fall behind on a 5-year plan. We do have room in our capital reserves for roads, and that's why the staff has recommended that we move forward. And you'll see that savings been going to be thrashed a little bit because of the next item that we added to the agenda as well.
Rick.
Looking at the numbers, I mean, I am okay with that. I mean, we've saved over 66,000 elsewhere, and this is over 30,000. But I mean, this is over a budget of $1 million as a whole. So I think that's still pretty tight. And we've got almost $2 million in reserves for that. So I mean, and that's 30 grand only represents about 1.5% of that reserve. So I think I'm okay with that.
Any further discussion? I need a mover and a seconder to approve the resolution. Moved by Dave and seconded by Renee. Madam Clerk?
Duly moved and seconded, be resolved that council awards the contract for the double surface treatment of Whippoorwill Road to Duncor Enterprises, Inc. for the total amount of $95,568 plus applicable taxes.
All those in favor? Thank you. Let's move on to 7.3.2, which is the overage. And who's speaking on that? Mark? Okay.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As per our procurement policy and bylaws under items of 6.6, when we see a capital project that is significantly higher than projected or streaming that way, it is our duty to report it to council. So that's why we added it to the agenda this afternoon. Late this afternoon, I was brought to my attention by the Director of Operations and our Public Works Manager of an issue on Dry Pine Bay Road. As you all know, I'm a strong proponent to ensure that drainage is properly done on our roads for the longevity of work that is being put onto it. And we're approaching about just over the 10% threshold for that contract alone. I'm just going to share my screen to show you exactly what we want to do. At disabled participant screen sharing. So I can't share my screen, sorry. I thought I could. So basically what we want to do at Dry Pine Bay Road is part of the ditch. There's a rock cut that creeps out, which is keeping the water from draining from the road. And there's an additional cost. We have done other improvements to the road within the 10%, but the 13,000 for the blasting to create that ditch to properly drain that section of the road, which is going to lessen a lot of the issues that we've been having with pothole development along that section. And so the recommendation from the Public Works Manager is that we spend the money now because, as you're aware, phase 2 of that project is another $200 and some thousand for hard surface treatment next year, which I want to make sure if we're going to spend that amount of money that we do it properly. So we're advising council that we will be authorizing that additional work just to make sure that the work is done properly.
Okay. Any questions for Mark regarding the overage? Randy and then Dave.
Through you, Madam Chair, I was going to say, actually, isn't there 2 pinch points where the rock extends, or are they just blasting the one section?
From my knowledge, Councillor Randy, is that they're blasting that one main section. I had pictures to show you. Sorry, I couldn't share the screen, but I can certainly share you the pictures or send them by email to all of you.
Okay, because there's 2 sections there that seem to protrude quite heavily on different parts of the road.
Okay.
I think it was Councillor Dave.
Yes. Thank you.
Go
Through
ahead.
you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I think we should spend a little bit of extra money to do the job properly. If we're going to spend that amount of money to do the job, we might as well do a good job, make sure it's done right, and have it last for X number more years.
Thank you. Councillor Millet.
You're on mute,
Who's on mute?
Richard, Councillor Richard.
I double clicked. So just to be clear, so the extra cost is how much again? Sorry.
The whole project on Dry Pine Bay Road, because of additional culverts and additional materials that needed, we're hovering around the $32,000 overage point. So the 10% of this project is sitting in just over 26,000. So it's our due diligence to report the overages to council prior to proceeding.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Dean says it's peanuts, considering the magnitude of the project.
I agree, Madam Mayor. We're following our policies and procedures.
No.
That's all.
No, that's what we want. Okay, any other discussion with regards to this? Seeing none, let's move on to item 7.4, which is discussion with regards to canceling our 2020 volunteer appreciation night. I guess with COVID, there are some challenges where you don't want to encourage gatherings. So staff is recommending the postponement or the cancellation for 2020. Mark or Mel, one of you want to speak to it, or? Oh, you're on mute.
No,
I'll let Mel speak to it.
No, I think you've touched all the important parts, all the important points that that staff had relating to the event. It's a beautiful event that we love holding every year, but I think it would be a bit risky and
Yes.
and that it could be postponed until 2021.
So Madam Clerk, do we need a motion to postpone it, or is just information?
No, as long as council generally agrees, it's going to be noted. And
Okay. Okay. Do I have any other feedback from any other councillors? Councillor Renee, I know that's your committee, so another thing that's postponed, but.
Yeah, I think maybe we just, say a huge thank you to all our volunteers. I know it's been a tough year, but we still recognize them. We just can't have the ceremony this year. And I think everybody understands what's been going on. So I think they'll be okay with it.
That's good. Oh, Councillor Randy?
So just out of curiosity, is there any chance we can still nominate and hand out award certificate in the mail rather than having a gathering, just to still appreciate the service of people?
I guess part of the event is the actual physical recognition, where families and friends and the community gathers to celebrate our volunteers, and sending something in the mail is, I'd rather not have it right now than getting it, because other people don't really know who we're celebrating, and so that would be my recommendation. Councillor Millet, yeah, I see your fingers now. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Just to add, I mean, considering so many events have been canceled and others will be canceled moving forward, there will be events where some of the volunteers won't even have a chance to participate as they do. I mean, take, for example, the baseball tournament, and other things like that are of significance, where some of the people that have participated in those events and don't necessarily participate in other events for volunteering won't be doing it. So I think, a level playing field is probably best. We just postpone it. And I believe everybody will understand that moving forward. So.
Yeah, these are difficult times for everybody. So we're in general agreement to postpone it?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on to 7.5, Emergency and Protection Services. There's no report, nor is there a report for development and planning. And then, Madam Clerk, there's no correspondence to report? No, thank you. And then I need a verbal motion to return to the regular meeting. Moved by Renee, seconded by Richard. All in favor? Thank you. So now we move on to item 8, which is a consent agenda. So I need a mover and a seconder for a resolution to adopt the items contained in the consent agenda. Randy and Richard. All in favor? Thank you. Let's move on to any notices of motion, Madam Clerk? No. Okay, so now we need to move into our closed session. So councillors, if you just wait a few seconds. So for the people that are watching, council has 4 items under closed session that we will be discussing. We will be coming back live as soon as we're finished our closed session and reporting on what was discussed during the closed session. So if you wish, you have time to go get a glass of wine or a beer or coffee, and then leave your computers on, and we'll be back on shortly. Thank you.
We will have the resolution.
I need a resolution?
Yes, to go into.
Oh, yes, yes, of
So
course.
I did, so by request, I did add the item to be able to discuss the Rapids debt,
Perfect.
but I'll need,
Do I need a resolution now?
yes.
Okay. Need a mover and a seconder to Dean and Rick.
So duly moved and seconded, be it resolved that the meeting be closed as authorized in the Municipal Act pursuant to section 239(2)C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality with respect to the proposed disposition of the municipal property located at 37 Saint-Antoine in Noelville. Pursuant to section 239(2)D, labor relations or employee negotiations with respect to a human resources matter, and with respect to the annual performance evaluation of the chief administrative officer, and pursuant to section 239(2)A, the security of the property of the municipality with respect to the French River Rapids debt to the municipality.
Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. All right, so we will now go into our closed session.
Giselle, we can't hear you.
All right, can you hear me now? Okay. Thank you everyone for being patient and waiting for us to come back. I can tell you that council discussed the debt that's owed by the Rapids, and we'll be informing tomorrow morning the owner of the Rapids of a new proposal. That
Giselle, we can't hear you.
can't hear me? Don't know what's wrong then if you can't hear me. All right, can you hear me now? Thank you everyone for being patient and waiting for us to come back. I can tell you that council discussed the debt that's owed by the Rapids, and we'll be informing. Okay. All right, I'm just going to try this one more time. Can everybody hear me now?
I can.
Okay, so let's take 3. So thank you again for waiting. And just to let you know that during our closed meeting, council discussed the debt that's owed by the Rapids. And we will be informing the owner of a new council proposal to get this debt paid off as soon as possible. As well, we did discuss the sale of the land at 37 Saint Antoine. And very shortly, there'll be a resolution that will be dealing with this particular issue. We also discussed an HR issue with regards to staffing. And I'm pleased to let you know that council did discuss the successful performance of our CAO, and we're extremely happy to have him with us for another 5 to 10 years, or I think. So in the meantime, Madam Clerk, I know that we do have a resolution for the sale of Saint Antoine.
First, we just need a resolution to reconvene.
Oh,
yeah.
Need a resolution to reconvene, moved by Renee, seconded by Dave. All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now Madam Clerk.
Yes. So do we have a mover and seconder?
Need a mover and a seconder, Rick and Randy.
Duly moved and seconded, be it resolved that council accepts the agreement of purchase and sale in the amount of 142,000 as presented and dated August 24th, 2020 for the purchase of the municipal property known as 37 Saint Antoine Street, Nouvelleville, bearing rule number 5201-060-10300.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. Let's move on to item 11, resolution to adopt the confirmation bylaw. I need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Dave, seconded by Randy.
Duly moved and seconded, be resolved that bylaw 2020-39 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at a meeting held on September 2nd, 2020 be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. I need a resolution to adjourn, moved by Rick, seconded by Randy. Sorry, I'm going too fast for you, right?
Sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Can we do announcements just for a quick second before we adjourn?
There's no announcement on the agenda,
Okay.
but since I'm the mayor, I will let you do that.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, for the opportunity to speak. I just wanted to address the public tonight that's viewing this. Somebody dumped a sofa on Dry Pine Bay Road illegally this weekend, so over Saturday evening. And Saturday, the landfill was open. It was free for people to dump this large item, and they've just decided to leave it curbside and, you know, pollute our environment. There's really no need for this type of activity from our citizens or from somebody outside the community. And if by chance somebody saw something, if they could report it, would be really nice to help nail down the person that just littered in our community. And I just really take offense to this. So I thank you for your time, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'm sure your feelings are shared by all. So I'd like to move for the adjournment. I know we have a mover and a seconder, so
So moved and seconded, be resolved that the meeting be adjourned at 7:41.
thank you. Just before we close, I'd like to thank everybody that took the time to watch this, your council in action. We welcome comments, and we're not receiving any questions from the public, but you are more than welcome to submit questions prior to the meeting, and we can address your concerns at that time. Thank you, and we will see you 2 Wednesdays from now, the 3rd Wednesday in September. Have a good night and be safe.